Hello and welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create these cinematic titles in the Premiere Pro itself. So without further ado, let's get started.
Alright, so first of all, you have to create a new sequence and then click on to create a text. So use the type tool and write whatever you want. So in this case, I'm writing cinematic and then go to the essential graphics panel and then come down on the text, and from here we are going to use the impact font. In this case you can use any which you like, and let's increase the font size to something like this and center alignment it, and let's arrange it. Okay, and then click on the save margins. Let's go up, click on the text and let's duplicate it by pressing Alt or Option and drag it up. Now select this second one and just double click it and type something else like text effect in this case, and let's come over here and drag it on bottom and resize it to make it smaller, and let's readjust its position with the help of this one. And now this is our text. Now let's apply some cool effect on this. Let's zoom in and then go to the effects panel and search for the effect called ramp. Just drag this over text layer, select the first one and you can see the ramp, and click on the top point and drag it down something like this, and pick the bottom point and drag it something like over here. Let's expand it, let's adjust its position to something like that so that we have the shadows in the bottom, and let's readjust it a little bit something like this. Okay, so that we see half of the text in a bright white and rest would be in a black or the gradient black. Now let's go to the effect panel and copy the ramp effect, same, and now paste it on the second layer in the bottom as well. Now click on the ramp in the effects control and now adjust these points according to the bottom text. So let's drag it something like over here, and let's adjust the bottom over here and this point right over here so that it looks good something like this as we did in the top text.
Alright, so now we are going to animate these texts. So for this purpose, first of all, we will turn off the bottom text so that we can focus only on one text at a time. So we'll click on the top one to disable this effect. So now only first text is visible, and thereafter we'll go to the effects control panel, and from here we are going to search for the effects called transform, and under the distort you will find this transform effects. So we are going to drag and drop it on our text, and then we will go to the effects control right over here, and over here you will see this effect transform, and we need to come over here on the scaling property. So over here this is the stopwatch. If we click over here, that's going to create a keyframe for us. So we'll click on this and that's going to create this keyframe. So we'll move it a little bit further because we want the same position after some time. All right, so from here we want it to scale it so that it just goes out of the screen in the beginning. So we'll hover our mouse on the scaling property and by clicking, and we'll just drag it so that it just goes beyond the screen, maybe over here. Okay, you can manually type 800 as well. So now we just play it, you can see it comes this way. And if you want this animation to happen very soon, make sure you close gaps between these two keyframes. So if you drag it on this side, something right over here, and if you just play it, you can see this is happening now little bit faster. Okay, now we are going to make it look more amazing. So for that purpose we will come over here, we'll zoom in the effects control panel, we'll click on this keyframe, second one or the last keyframe, right click, and we are going to click on the easy out or ease out. Okay, and we'll click on the similarly on the first keyframe, right click, and we'll click on the ease in. Okay, and now our animation would be very smooth. So if we just play it, all right, so now it looks cinematic. There is one more thing which we are going to do, and that is we'll just click on the scale property, this little arrow, and that's going to open these graphs. So now we'll click on this bottom bar and just drag it here to zoom in. So we'll select these keyframes, and the moment you will select the keyframe you will see these handles. So we'll click on the bottom handle and we'll just drag it something like this so that it's going to create this kind of a curve. And we'll click on the first handle and we'll just make it something like this. And if we just play it now, you can see now animation looks more amazing and cinematic. And there is one more thing which is left to do. Let's come over here in the scaling property. We want the scale to just zoom out after this position, so we'll move our playhead in the last of this something right over here, and we'll scale it down to like say 80%. okay, and if we now play it, you will see the difference. It just comes in and goes out. This is how it happens in cinemas or in movies. Okay, all right, so that looks good. And now let's make it even more cool. So for that purpose, we'll work on the rotation property as well. So we'll zoom in, click on the rotation again. We'll take the playhead in the beginning, click on the rotation, and that's going to create a keyframe. We'll drag this keyframe on the second keyframe of the scale where the text actually lands on the screen, and then we are going to rotate it like this under the in the minus side, something like this, 27. You can just put any number. Okay, and now you can see we start to see this text right over here. So that's the problem we are going to fix. But if you just play it, you can see it just comes this way. Okay, it just comes rotating and then it goes straight. And there is a problem. As you can see in the beginning, we start to see this text. We can scale it even further on this keyframe, first keyframe in the scale property. Let's make it something like this, or rather than just scaling it even further, we can work on the opacity property. So we'll click on the opacity to be 100%, and we'll drag this keyframe on the second position where we want actually to see it clearly, and in the beginning we'll just make it 0%. okay, so now this text is no longer visible, and if we just play it, you can see it start and its visibility comes right over here. Boom. Isn't this looking amazing? And now let me show you how to make it even more cooler. So I'll select both of these text layer, right click and select the next, and I'm going to type cinematic text and I'll type next. Okay, and now we have got this one, and if I just play it, okay, so the problem is that the text effect is not working. So we'll just move inside it and we will go to the effects control over here. We forgot to animate this one, so we will just copy this transform effect where it has all the animation which we have just created, and we are going to paste it on the text effect as well. So if we just play it, you can see both of these are happening at the very same time, which we don't want obviously. So we'll just move the second one just after this one. Okay, so if we just play it, you can see it comes, and then immediately after that the subtitle should come. Okay, something like this, and we'll drag the cinematic title to this side, or we can just cut it from here. Okay, so if we just play it, so this is how it looks. And now we'll go back to the cinematic text next. Okay, and over here you can see we have cut some part, so we'll adjust it back to that part, something like this. Okay, and now if we just, this is how it looks. Now we are going to drop the particles over it. So we'll click on this particles video and drop it over here. So you can download this particle from the link in the description and resize it to fit to this text effect. Okay, and let's go to the effects control panel and change its layer blending mode to screen. And if we just play it, boom. Isn't this look amazing? Now let's add the out animation as well. So we'll press Alt or Option and drag it over here to create a duplicate copy of this nest, and then we'll right click and select the speed or duration, and then we'll click on the reverse speed and press OK. And now if we need to expand the particle to the end of these layers or to the length of this, so if we just play it, titles comes in and then it just goes out. Isn't this looking amazing? So let me show you the full screen. Boom. This is how it looks. You can add the cinematic sound effects on this, and this is going to look really amazing. And if you want to speed up the process and save time, you can download the Eclipse Titles pack, which has lots of pre-made cinematic titles for you. So all you need to do, just drag and drop over your videos, customize the way you like, and you are good to go. So if you want that pack right now, you can get a huge discount. You can download that from the first link in the description section below. And if you want to see its intro, it's right over here. Check out this video. If you have any question, you can always ask me. You can leave that in the comment section below in the question and answer section, or you can directly reach out to me. My email ID is harsh@harshvardhanart.com or harshvardhanart@gmail.com. You might see right over here.